I survived the worst horror films of 2025. The most overrated. Sinners has the childish thuggishness of Quentin Tarantino mixed with the low-key white-phobic racism of Jordan Peele. It's like a 13-year-old boy's masturbation revenge fantasy of two laughably too cool for school gangsters with a heart of gold, heroically massacring white supremacists as every non-black character betrays them in one way or another. The most disappointing. Shelby Oaks. A dull, sterilely blocked mystery resulting in a genuinely, bafflingly terrible ending. The kind the director used to make fun of in his hilariosity reviews. How did this happen? The most in bad taste. The Monkey. Loved ones of the main character die horrifically, usually in the midst of a touching emotional moment. And you can feel the director going, eh? The most pernicious. I Know What You Did Last Summer. The term gaslighting is treated as a pop culture buzzword, but clinical gaslighting is when someone tries to make their victim feel crazy to force their own twisted matrix of thought onto another person, to make them live and think as they want their victims to, instead of them living by their own choices. You see this in cults and in Nazi propaganda, but rarely by Hollywood films. This rewrites the events of the past films in such a way as to trick the audience into believing this director's twisted male-hating ideology is reality, literally going as far as saying none of this would have happened if men just went to therapy. I've been a fan of Jennifer Love Hewitt most of my life, but after she was complicit spreading this toxic hate, when she was in fact one of the only ones in a position to stop it, I'm not anymore. The most amateurish. Keeper. Let's be honest, it's I Know What You Did Last Summer. But I've wasted enough of my life on that. Keeper is genuinely incoherent. I can barely even explain the plot if I hadn't seen 3 of the director's other films already, one earlier on this list. I would not have believed he had ever worked on a movie, really in any capacity. The most wasted opportunity. Traumatica. A demon released from an occult object causes a father to molest his daughter to create a child for it to inhabit. After this fails, the ghost of the possessed father forces the daughter to abduct children until a compatible child is found, later resulting in the grown boy becoming a masked killer. It's a lot. But the concept of trauma echoing through generations is quite fascinating. Where this goes awry, though, is the film quite randomly cuts between the cause being demonic and it being trauma-induced mental illness, either of which is very compelling. Straddling both ideas, however, without fostering the necessary ambiguity to bridge the polar expositions made for an unholy mess.